Is the door to Iron Man totally closed? Because I don't believe it is.
Every day, the reset button, the spacebar gets pressed, and it's like, now what?
30 years he has struggled with a dangerous drug addiction that nearly destroyed him. And today, he says he's clean, he's in love. And so by the time you're in prison, that's not rock bottom for you?
Nope. It's easy to embrace hopelessness when things seem insurmountable. And yet, it's actually just a matter of time until all of the elements come together for things to be all right. I mean, I believe that, most difficult situations will resolve themselves if you are persistent and if you don't give up entirely. And that's what I never did. I never gave up.
Do you still get urges to do drugs?
I have not even an inkling of a desire. It's not that difficult to overcome these seemingly ghastly problems. What's hard is to decide.
That thing that you're wearing around your neck.
Yes.
Being as you are obviously known as being Iron Man, are you concerned with wearing a large thing in the exact same spot?
Life is funny because I was doing this before I ever got fitted for the RT, so it was more of art imitating oddball stuff I was doing anyway.
Even more interesting because maybe you were born to be Iron Man because Iron Man obviously had that.
Loosely prearranged destiny. And what's incredible is how far afield you can go from it and still find your way back.
This concept of things just sort of falling into place. I'm a big believer in that too. What is that though? Is that you getting out of your own way?
Isn't that 70% of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say it's 70% maintenance of what can I do to do my part to stay out of the way. And then the other part, I always think of it as like this little super thin, invisible thread. But you can feel the tug and you just you have to be really gentle. You have to pause when agitated and you have to go for it when you're going to like, there's 4 walls in here, which one has the map behind it? It's that one. And you knock down the wall and it's there,
Yeah, what is that though? That's a...
Synchronicity?
Yeah.
Intuition? I don't know.
Right.
It's the big I don't know. And I really feel, it's so funny, at this point in my life and being, kind of middle-aged and all that, well, I know I'm going to fly around the world and I'm going to sell some soap. And I know I have a new project and I know I've just retired my jersey on this 12-year journey I've been on. And how do I want to start? And it came up, how would you like it? I go, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go have the Joe Rogan experience and kick off this year and this season and this new chapter by doing what I love. I think part of the reason I'm still so interested, not just in life, but also, getting to do what I do, is I'm a fan. I love movies. I love creativity. I love music. I love culture. And the fact that I actually have a place in it while I'm observing it and digging it is like, it's an honor.
Even though he has a whole lot of money, even though he's Iron Man, dude, here's the deal. He's still nice. My daughter is 4 years old, and she says, Daddy, don't you know Iron Man? Can't you hook it up? It's my birthday. Can he come to my birthday? Can you make it happen, Daddy? And this is at his height. This is when everything is going. And I text him, and I said, listen, man, my daughter, she loves Iron Man. If you got time, you know what I'm saying? If you'd stop by. And this is the day before her birthday. It's Saturday. Sunday is the birthday. He texts back. He says, is 12 o'clock noon good?
Is the door to Iron Man totally closed? Because I don't believe it is.
Oh.
You guys can go through time now.
Well, let me ask you the question. If I pick the jersey back up and put it on, wouldn't you feel a little bit like, oh,
no.
crap?
No.
Oh.
I love you as Iron Man. So I would if they opened up this time machine and you popped out, I just imagine the moment where everybody goes fucking crazy. It would be amazing.
It'd be great.
I would love that. But I would also love you hanging it up.
It's just, I keep thinking, see clearly. And it's difficult because I feel like we all just get buffeted by feelings and ego or fears or little, chips of resentments or intuitions that are tied to something maybe higher but you think is out of your reach or whatever. So I need to be kept right-sized because I can easily fall into self-seeking and depression and self-pity and judgment and all that stuff. It's kind of It's a bit of a default, but I spend enough energy and I've had enough help over enough years to actually just say, oh, that's just awful, destructive behavior. You're entertaining in your head, you know? If I'm noticing anything now, it's that we need to shift and we need new challenges. And just like society and politics, things are moving and morphing, and the information age is making things so... Everything's learning and growing from everything so quickly and improving or disproving. But for me, it's just incredible. Our culture never encourages taking a break, never encourages saying, don't chase that thing because you've got it in your hands. So confidence, you know, there's been times when I've felt I'm in possession of it, and then you want to let go a little bit because it's only ever the moment and life guiding you. The wind is so at your back that you're like, wow, are you just, you know, jumping over the waves and all that by yourself? And you're like, you bet I am. But there's a physics to the moment, and the wind's at your back. And then the wind does what the fucking wind does, and it changes. And if you're left there thinking, what, you know, so I think it's great to be in full possession of what you would call supreme confidence, and then see what happens if you don't hold on to it so hard, because it's great. But it is a bit of an illusion because, like everything else, it's always changing. Always know what your action is, because then when you come in the morning confident, or when you come in the morning and you can't hit your ass with both hands, you know what to do. Just boil down what it is you're doing, whether there's a camera around or just what am I doing today. Today I'm showing up and I'm trying to be honest and also to listen and learn. But really my action today is I'm beginning a process of promotion.
You actually take comfort in the fact that your eyesight is starting to dwindle?
You want to chase it, but what I appreciate is you know where you're at by what you're able to retain if you fight for it, and the things that are going no matter what you do. Sometimes it's about, I don't need to try to use something to hold on to everything. I want to pick the 5 or 7 things that I definitely want to hold on to, and I want to watch the rest of it go in and out with the tides.
Smile. Though your heart is aching, smile. Even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by.
I was fanatical in my 20s. Helping Microsoft lead the way in software was the only thing that I really focused on. So, you know, I worked weekends, I didn't believe in vacation. And so I really pushed people to work hard. And I was still learning how to manage people, particularly the different skill sets, the sales people, the accounting people. And so, you know, fortunately, I think I'm a little bit better now.
There will never be a point in your life where it's the right time to do a great thing. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect timing, is not going to happen. You know what you have to do? You have to create the perfect time and the perfect opportunity and the perfect situation. There are things that you think you'll never need to know, that you may only need to know one time in your life, but that could save your life because you had that knowledge. If you're waiting on your next door neighbor to make it happen for you, it may not happen. If you're waiting on your mother or your father, they may be so ancient in their thinking that they don't understand this opportunity that you have. And if you're waiting on them, it may never get done. You don't beg average people to be phenomenal. You don't beg good people to be phenomenal. You just are phenomenal, and you will attract phenomenal. If you're not where you are, if you're not where you want to be, if you don't have what you want to have, if you're not where you think you should be at this particular place, it has nothing to do with the system, but it has everything to do with the fact that you're not making the sacrifice. I want you to make that dream become a reality, because if you don't, you will be working for somebody else to make their dreams become a reality.
There's a choice that we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great at something, there's a choice that you have to make. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice. And what I mean by that is there are inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends, being a great friend, right? Being a great son, nephew, whatever the case may be. There's sacrifices that come along with making that decision. I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life, right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
All men are created equal. Some work hard in preseason. When I went to college, guys were way smarter than me. 4.0s, 3.0s. They went to the Ivy League high schools, came to Oakwood from these great high schools. Most of them are not doing what I'm doing. Why? Because it's not about where you come from. It's about heart. You come to a place where, being smart ain't enough. You got to have heart. At any moment. Some of you can make sacrifices when Monday Night Football is not on. You can make a sacrifice. But when the game come on, for some reason, you just attached to it. For some of you, when your favorite show come on, you can make sacrifices on Sunday when ain't nothing going on. But when your favorite show comes on Monday, bam, some of you focus until the phone ring, and then you like, I gotta answer it. If I don't answer the phone, I'm gonna die. I'm saying to you today that there are some of you, if you give up your cell phone, you would be successful. But your cell phone is more important to you than your success. Some of you need to give up your cell phone because the time you spend on your cell phone could be used for your success. The time you could be using to be successful, you're using it on the cell. And the cell phone is not bringing you nothing but a bill. And somebody has told you you couldn't live without it. I'm talking about going deep now, giving up stuff. Watch what it says. To be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could be. I don't do well in math. You're right. You ain't never studied. I dare you to fail. I dare you to take that same class over and over again. I dare you to stop dropping classes like you soft.
If I had to be great at something, I wanted to be great in this world of Hollywood and movie making and producing and entertainment, I had to commit, and like you guys have to commit. Obviously, you commit to something, commit to the goal. So I quietly retired. 2 years later, I thought, what the f did I do with my career? Because my movies were not doing well. I was written off. I was like, it was around 2006, 2007. I was like, God damn. I left, I pulled a Jim Brown. I left when I was on top, like #1 in the wrestling business, and I left. It was a ballsy, gutsy, some call it stupid move, but I had to commit and I had to follow what was in my gut. And I sat down at that time with the agency I was with, and they said, what do you want to accomplish? I said, I want to accomplish the world. I want the world, and I want Will Smith's career. And I said, and I mean this respectfully because I know he's here at this agency with us, I want to do it bigger and better. And they were like, okay. But I still stayed focused, and I still had still put in the hard work with my 2 hands. And that's it. As you guys know, there's nothing you can't accomplish. You're gonna go on, you're gonna become world champions.
Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. There are people right now who are working who don't want to work. There are people who hate their jobs, but they keep getting up to do it. You have this opportunity of a lifetime. It means absolutely nothing if you don't take advantage of it in the lifetime of this opportunity. Today is the only important day. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, and how you use those are critical. You got 86,400 today, and what you do today is going to cement who you are. Nobody's going to talk about what you did last week. You will never, ever be successful until you turn your pain into greatness, until you allow your pain to push you from where you are to push you to where you need to be. Stop running from your pain and embrace your pain. Your pain is going to be a part of your prize, a part of your product. I challenge you to push yourself. When you die on E. Leave no dream left behind, guys. Leave no opportunity left behind. When you leave this earth, accomplish every single thing you can accomplish. Listen to me, you're going to be here one day, but you'll never get here if you give up, if you give in, if you quit. And finally, guys, you got to want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe.